This episode of Last Liberal Asshole Show was filmed on September 26, 2020. I'm going to start saying this before each episode so you know the date of when we filmed the episode so you understand the context. So if we miss something that's happened since before the episode came up, that's why. So now, on with the episode. Well guys, after over 3 months away, we are back to episode 10 of the Liberal Asshole Show. And of course, we waited this long because Harry was supposed to show up, but guess what happened for a third time now?
Yep, he did not show up, because of course he didn't.
Of course, as always, doesn't show up. Hey, you know what that means?
Oh.
That means he's not shown as many times as he has shown up now. That's sad.
Yeah.
I'll show up. Still hasn't yet, but who knows? Maybe he will show up, so always keep that in mind for this episode. So, for this episode, since it's been so long since we last done it, one of the things we wanted to talk about, that Harry wanted to talk about, was COVID-19 and masks, but looks like we're going to have to wait on that since he ain't here, of course.
I can still talk about it a bit.
But
Mostly how much better Australia's done versus the US and the other parts of the world.
And of course, there was actually 2 videos that I wanted to respond to Vaush. I actually clipped one of his clips when we went after Kyle several months ago, which, oh god, if you gave that clip to the Trump campaign, they could use it as a very good campaign ad against Biden. It's actually so effective, it's sad. And Vaush is too stubborn to realize it. And of course, you remember the other one was about electoral strategies. The other one, although unfortunately a lot of these are really old because I followed these back in July. One of them was making fun of what was his name, Ted Yolo or whatever the fuck his name was when he had his meltdown on AOC, lied about her, called her a fucking bitch.
Anyway, which one was that?
That was back in July.
That's in 2016. Vaush's bad take. Lefties can't play the politics game.
I think did I not upload it? Because we can always get the Kyle clip too.
I don't know.
Alright, but anyways, another topic. I already talked about this before, but that was about the TikTok ban and bans in general. And of course, I think I deleted this, but I think I kept it still in the ideas of talking about a video of Trump's executive order. But of course, this was back in August, so that's probably irrelevant now. It was about shit. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was about giving out another stimulus thing. But I also wanted to watch a video of Kyle talk about swing voters turning on Trump, which of course the Trumpsters around me denied at all costs.
Of course they do.
And of course, I wanted to talk about Kamala being the VP because that was around the time when that happened, but I think that's irrelevant now, especially since we've already mocked her. But there was one thing I wanted to talk about, and that's Ruth Bader Ginsburg hitting the bucket so soon. God damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of topics we wanted to talk about. So any of them in particular you wanted to start off with?
Swing voters for 2016 abandoned Trump.
Alright, let's go get that video. Of course, his base will deny at all costs, but Trump has lost so much support across the country. I still don't... Oh, that's right. They're Trumpsters. They'll always say everything's fake news, remember?
Yeah, even though it'd be more accurate to say their existence is fake news. There we go.
MSNBC spoke to some 2016 Trump voters in swing states. And let's just say that 2020 isn't looking nearly as good for Trump with these swing voters in these swing states as it was last time.
They find themselves unsure of where to turn. NBC's Dasha Burns caught up with some moderate Republican voters in Kent County, Michigan, as part of our County to County series. The last time you and I met, Katie, was in March, right? That time, you and your husband were both working full-time, your kids were in school. How has your life changed since then?
How has my life changed? Well, I mean, we went through, obviously, the kids not going to school, to trying to work from home, to try to educate our children from home as well, and trying to balance, the cancellation of life, essentially.
How has your political landscape changed?
I'm turning into more of an angry person than I think I've ever been in my entire life, and that makes me really sad. I'm just on a countdown to November right now, and hoping we wake up from this nightmare we're living in.
Hal, when you and I first met, you had a term you used for your political identity.
Politically homeless.
How have the stakes changed since we first met?
I think we're seeing it on a daily basis, this delegitimizing of pillars of our society, of institutions of government, everything from COVID testing to choices that we've got to make about education for our kids, and there's just a void of leadership at the top.
Jerry, I think you are still probably furthest to the right of this group. When we first met at the farmers market, you were echoing a lot of the president's language. You called impeachment a witch hunt. What made you go from pretty solidly for Trump to backing away from that and now winding up more on the fence?
Some of his statements, some of the buffoonery, at times I saw some of the shenanigans, his actions, and also
Here,
when
but
he
how
said,
did you
well,
not
we're gonna
see it
enact
back
this
in
right now, well,
2015, though?
What do you
What the
think you should have done
fuck?
differently?
that had it so
He was
bluntly,
always
Because
an
he's
idiot.
stupid.
Yeah, Trump's a fucking idiot.
The bravado would be.
Yeah,
That's
but
right now at this point.
establishment enabling corporate Democrats to enable the alt-right and Trump don't give a fuck.
Yep, exactly.
Donald Trump in 2016, you thought his business background, he could be a leader that could really bring America forward in various ways. How has this crisis made you think differently, not just about the president, but in general about what leadership should look like and how important it is?
The businessman ideal was what was, I think, the attraction, there. And if I can see that from the leaders of the company I work for to, all across corporate America, there's no reason the guy in the White House can't do it.
The president, both candidates are looking at the suburbs. They want to win over suburbs like the ones here in Kent County. The president
Trump
has
will
been
never
campaigning
get
on this
them.
law and
They
order
hate
message
him.
in places like this. Is that
I think it's going to backfire. I think that the type of law and order that he thinks he's promoting is not the type of law
Oh
and
yeah,
order that resonates
how
with
funny.
some.
He wants law and order, yet look at all the law and order happen under his watch. And his policies are because of it, you fucking idiot Trumpsters.
So you're right, because we aren't, we aren't 1950s housewives anymore. We're educated, strong women who are trying to raise families while working full time out of the home. A lot of us are, and to make us think that we're going to be, this, defund the police thing, we're going to all of a sudden be overrun in our community.
And of course, it has to do a fucking ad plan because I forgot to put ad blocker on. Of course, we didn't even get the part about Kyle yet. This is like a 13-minute video. Here we
Yeah,
go.
that was basically everything I thought it would be. So these are Republicans, like moderate Republicans who in 2016 voted for Trump. They're in a swing state, and now they just don't feel like they did back then. And if you look, I jotted down their list of reasons here because this is echoing themes that I've kind of brought up in different contexts over the past couple months on this show. They said, one of them said, I'm angrier than I've ever been. They said there's this delegitimizing of the government going on that they're uncomfortable with, where it does appear to be like Trump versus some of the agencies. Like, for example, with the CDC, he mandated that the coronavirus information, the data, go to his administration as opposed to right to the CDC. So I see no other reason to do that other than to cook the books and change the numbers. This was a big story a few weeks ago. It looks like these little things are adding up for people. One of them cites COVID testing. How COVID testing was totally botched. Schools. How there's this push now from Trump and his administration to force people to go back to schools when...
Oh, and reminds me, too, did you see recently, a recent rally, he demands schools to be reopened because he's a fucking moron?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Oh.
because he hates people who have
Have a brain.
Yeah. I love the poorly educated.
And of course, remember where Kyle exposed him, preventing USPS to give out free face masks to people. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. I saw that. Yep.
Oh, and he said recently no one is affected by COVID or something along the lines, like no one's actually seriously affected by it. I'm sure all the 200,000 people that died would like to work with you.
Americans would disagree with you on that. Yeah.
Yep.
I just saw this story last night. There was a school in Georgia that went viral because there were really crowded hallways. This is during the pandemic and very few masks. Well, guess what? 9 people in the school had COVID, and then now they just switched to all online the other day. But like of course that this is what was going to happen. Of course this was going to happen. But Trump and his people are just trying to force everything back to normal, and people are watching this like, not my kid, bro. Not my kid. You ain't doing this to my kid. You're not going to do this to us. So it's backfiring. Then I think some of the most important ones, void of leadership. This gets back to a point that I made that in times where there's acute crises, you want somebody who's in charge, who's a steady hand of leadership. Because you just want, I think in most people's minds, in times of crisis, they actually do want to feel like there is no politics involved in the decision making. It's just like, almost like when you're a kid, you fall on the playground, you scrape your knee. You want like an adult figure to come over, calm you down, fix the problem, maybe wash the knee off, put a little ointment and a Band-Aid or something, but like calm you down the entire time, just kind of show that leadership. It's a similar thing for an entire country during a time of crisis. You want a steady hand of leadership. You don't want somebody who's a bomb thrower, who's divisive, who's going to pick a side and add fuel to the fire. You just want somebody to come along who's like, we're going to take care of this. We're going to take care of this. I got it under control, and we got your back, Americans. We're going to do the right thing. And I told you that Trump's persona is populist bomb thrower. And that works when there's not multiple acute crises. But when there are multiple acute crises, people don't want like the loud, swashbuckling, arrogant person. They want the person who's going to step up and be like, listen, everybody, breathe. We're going to get through this as a country. And we're going to do everything that we have to do. And you can rest assured we're on top of it. And that's just not in Trump's personality. He's not the kind of person who brings people together. He's the kind of person who...
And of course, he's lying about the shit, too.
I'm sick of the buffoonery and the shenanigans. That's another thing. I think that stuff is appealing in a context where, you got all these like stuck-up politicians who are just like too proper and too professional. Like the professional stuff gets boring. You want to like switch it up a little bit and have somebody who's a little bit of a clown, willing to say whatever, have no filter. But then when you get hit with the crisis, all of a sudden you're like, where are the professionals at? We need professionals. What are we doing here? One of them mentions that the appeal in 2016 to me was that he was like a businessman. So I think that the person saying like, I think that would have been good for the country to have.
Except he was a giant failure, remember?
a businessman run the country. This is something you hear a lot. You hear different versions of this argument that like, oh, we need to run this country like a business. But I don't think that was ever really a good idea, because the whole idea of a business is you want to turn a profit. For the country, it's almost like the exact opposite. You're not trying to personally benefit in any way, shape, or form. What you're trying to do is have a thriving, peaceful, stable, fair society in a way that...
But that's something conservatives don't like, remember?
Of course they don't.
Again, that's
because they're
the opposite in many ways of
pathetic
just trying to turn a
pieces of
profit like you do for
shit.
business. So I never really agreed with the businessman point that people make. And then the final thing is, the law and order thing isn't resonating. It's not resonating. Just like I told you guys, it wasn't going to resonate.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too.
They're not law and order. No, they're not law and order.
And they
They
keep
claim to be law and order, but people are at least starting to see through that.
Of course, the conservatives around my part still still can't see it because they're fucking morons. Trump is the law and order president, even though all this shit's going on his watch. Oh, it's a Democrat fault. Democrat-run cities. Democrat mayor. Democrat everything.
Yeah, blame the Democrats for everything, so you never have to take responsibility for anything ever, and you don't have to do anything to change.
Because we're always right, remember?
Because you can't have a guy who wrote the crime bill. You can't have a guy who's tough on crime his entire political career, and then turn around and say, that guy's soft on crime. Because it's too much of a leap. It's too clearly untrue. Like, anybody's gonna look at that.
You really think conservatives care? No, they're gonna say it no matter what.
Say, that's not, Joe Biden doesn't strike me as somebody who's like cheering on looters and riots.
They'll say anything.
You're kind of making that up.
Yep.
And they are. And so it's not resonating. And they said, like, one of them said, you're treating us like we're 1950s housewives. We're not that. We're not that.
Oh, the conservatives around my part would definitely want you to be treated like 1950s housewives. Because they're a bunch of sexist pieces of shit, too.
We're like professionals, educated women trying to...
And even earlier for black people,
and we're
as they
struggling
call
because
them N-words.
Oh, they would love to say that without getting caught in trouble again.
you haven't gotten the virus under control, which means...
Because remember,
pandemic still raging and the
there's no
economy.
black men are no, not just black men, just black people in general. They're always not an angel. And you know why? It's because they're black. Because they're black, they're not angels automatically, no matter if they've done nothing wrong.
Yep.
The economy is still intact. So you have to fix the virus and the economy.
Cop could have just
that's the
walked
thing.
up, bang, shot an innocent black person in the head, had done nothing wrong, and the conservatives will say, he's not an angel, he's committed crimes.
Sounds like you were watching Vaush's video earlier.
Say law and order all you want. Things don't feel very law and order-like when homelessness massively spikes. There are
sort of
everywhere.
idiot
5 million
thing.
people have had COVID. Over 160,000 deaths. 20% real
Now over
unemployment. Things don't feel very law and order.
200,000.
Well, this was back in July. But of course, it's fake. It's Chinese hoax, just like climate change, remember?
No, it's
You quite scared?
either Democratic hoax or Chinese Communist Party bioterrorism virus.
Yep.
People about like rioters and looters on the streets. But that is not as direct a threat to people and a problem in people's minds as the virus is and the economy is. It's the economy, stupid. It's the healthcare system, stupid. And just remember, about 30 million people have lost their health insurance under Trump's presidency. Good luck having that happen under your presidency and then running and getting reelected. As I said a million times, you could run a ham sandwich against Trump at this point. The ham sandwich would probably win. Because the ham sandwich, there weren't 30 million people who lost their health insurance under the ham sandwich. That happened under Trump. And steadily rising by
Plus, the ham sandwich has a brain.
the way that number is. So, listen, you're not the law and order thing of like, I would bring back security. People will not feel secure until the virus is gone and the economy is better. And what they're doing is not facilitating that. So, I think that this is a problem for Trump, and this is very indicative of what a lot of people are thinking. The race is definitely not over yet. Things can still turn around for Trump. But as of right now, if the election was held today, Biden would win and he would win comfortably. And I do think that, granted, this is a small sample size, it's anecdotal, it's only 3 people, but...
Until Trump says recently he's not going to commit to peaceful transition, remember, because he's a dictator.
Of course he's not. He's going for a coup or something like that.
And of course, all of his base, he never would do that. In fact, we actually support him canceling the 2020 election as we polled a few years ago. Remember Kyle covering that?
Yep, I remember that.
Remember when they accused Obama?
I remember when they said cancel the election and make Trump dictator for life.
Remember when they said Obama was going to steal the elections? Projection
Yep.
strikes again.
That's all. If they didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all.
Yeah, Trump is not going to win anywhere near as close to the last time if he even does win. Get that for your thick fucking heads. He's a failure. Accept it. Jesus fucking Christ. God.
They won't, because they're idiot Trump-tards.
And because they're conservatives, and conservatives never believe in facts, remember? So what do you want to watch next or talk about?
What we got next? I think we'll go RBG next. They're dying.
Okay. Okay, so that was over a week ago. Ruth Bader Ginsburg unfortunately hit the bucket way too soon. Jesus Christ. Marriott, maybe you should have retired when Obama was president. Maybe we could have had a replacement for you so we had to worry about this crap. But of course...
Wasn't going to happen.
Yes.
You know that the Republicans would have blocked him even if she left day one. And he would have been like, no, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. They can block me forever and ever and never let me do anything ever.
Which is part of the reason why I said Biden is not good on the Supreme Court, because the Republicans are going to block him forever if need to. But of course, if you all didn't hear earlier today...
They'll literally wait until every single justice dies, and then if they ever get in, they're just going to pile it with fascist judges.
Speaking of fascists, if you didn't hear earlier, just a few hours earlier, Trump announced his pick to nominate, and oh god, it's an insane bitch who is pro-life as fuck, and is a batshit insane fascist, so you know how shitty that's gonna be. But of course, of course the right just eat it up because they love controlling people's lives.
Yep, especially women, minorities, gay people, trans people, anyone who isn't as far right as them.
And of course not as white as them.
Yep.
And of course if they're not men either.
But if you're vaguely left-leaning, you're in big trouble.
Or if you're not right at all, you're in trouble.
Yep.
And if you're not a cis white man, you're definitely in trouble. But of course, we got to get into the actual votes and all that crap. Unfortunately, the Republicans, of course, have 3-point lead in the Senate. So even if the Democrats all opposed her nomination, it don't fucking matter. And of course, it sounds like the Republicans got enough votes, sadly, for that. The only thing you can hope
is... Of course they do. They'll always have enough votes to ram through their fascism.
Gee, just like remember in 2017 when they could have, when the Republicans got rid of the filibuster for Garland, maybe Obama and the Democrats should have done that too when they had the opportunity.
Of course they're not. They're Trump and alt-right enablers.
And
why would they?
But of course, I actually wanted to bring up Kyle's video on it, but it's like way too long. I don't have it at the moment. But he was talking about that he wasn't sure about the Republicans were going to get it done before the election because it's going to be like 45 days away, and that's the average it takes for the nomination, all that. Well, actually, I think he said it was like 70 days, which if you go by that from her start of her death, that would be like late November. The Congress doesn't
matter. They're going to ram it through so hard that it won't matter. And then they're going to try and get the other liberal justices killed so they can instill Christian Sharia.
Yeah, and then of course I keep trying to point out to anyone, even if Biden wins, and if the Democrats win back the Senate doesn't get changed till January 3rd. So you had to wait till then, and then if it's tied, Pence is the tiebreaker until Kamala takes over. So you got way too many months still to go, and you know the Republicans are going to do everything in their power to do it. Even if because remember Kyle pointed out, if they did actually got the nomination, it could actually backfire them many years later on, such like that. I mean, it could, but will that really matter?
Yeah, I remember that.
Will that really matter though if they got their pick?
I think.
Just like Kyle says, the Democrats, if they manage to get in power, even though they're not going to do it because they're a bunch of pussies, they need to go the FDR route and try and stuff the court. Now,
get rid of basically ban conservative judges and just turn it 100% liberal.
And then the conservatives will have a meltdown, but who fucking shits for them? Their ideology is awful.
And that's what they're going to do if Trump dies. They're going to ban liberalism and then install all the fascist judges.
Just like conservatives already been in polls, they want Trump to stay as a dictator, and it's pathetic that they deny it all costs.
Even though Trump's not going to make it to 2024.
Oh my god. So anything you guys say about this? Or then the Democrats need to fight like hell, even though they don't have the numbers. They should still fight.
They're not going to.
But of course, it
was too late when she died.
Yeah,
Trump's going to ram it through, and then he's going to try and ram through all the judges and try to make it illegal to be liberal.
And you know what's sad, too? I bet you there'll probably be a Democrat, too, that'll probably vote for her like all the other nominees. Especially Joe.
Of course!
Yeah.
Of course, because they're evil.
But, you know, they're all just a bunch of socialists that are controlled by Bernie and all of them. Biden's being controlled by Bernie, don't you know? We wish.
I love that failure of a talking point. It's not even a talking point. It's just being stupid on purpose.
Which is always a conservative thing.
Mm-hmm. Being stupid to own the libs.
Suffering through climate change and all that just to own the libtards.
Yeah.
Or suffering through COVID.
Turning the Earth into a colder white Venus to own the libs.
Denying COVID to own the libs as we die without the mask and all that crap.
Mm-hmm. Dying to own the libs.
Hey, that would actually be a good thing for once. Less conservatives in the world. So now what?
At least American conservatives.
Yep. So now what do you want to talk about now?
Let's go for the Vaush one.
Oh, which one?
Let's go ripping Vaush the new arsehole. The first one on ripping Vaush the new arsehole.
Okay, well, I'm sure you remember Vaush's meltdown with the Ryzen several months ago, right?
Yes, that's where he called for he called for a whole flag campaign against the Hill. Said that
and that Crystal
Sager's a Nazi and Crystal Bell's the closet Nazi, and the Hill needs to be cancelled for Nazism.
Yep, he is absolutely pathetic. But anyways, he also had a meltdown on Kyle for Kyle talking about the same thing, and oh god, it was the same horseshit as he did with Ryzen on them. But there was one quote in particular that I actually had to record for this because oh god, it is really, really bad what he said. In fact, even his audience pointed out that was a really bad take. And of course, do you all? And I don't know if you know this. Well, maybe you do. Do you know he's like a hardcore anti protectionist?
Oh yeah, it's just like Destiny in that regard.
Yeah. He supports NAFTA. He supports TPP. Oh my fucking god, it is disgusting. But there was this one.
Maybe we should do. Maybe they should outsource this YouTube channel.
I even had an argument with Zoomer in the comments too when that stream was happening too. So that's pretty sad. He's anti-protectionist. But anyways, here's the clip in question. Like I said, I'm not kidding. What I'm saying is, if Trump's campaign got a hold of this clip, it would be a very good ad. I hate to say it. It would be really good. So here we go, playing
Let's see
it.
what else this person has to say who's on the left, while I, as a right-winger, watch the show.
You ready for my hot take?
Here we go.
Outsourcing jobs is not necessarily a bad thing at all. I think the American economy is robust, and we are very, 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 very capable of forming a strong domestic economy based off the service sector work that we can only do within our own country for people of our own country. And what's more, engaging in the sort of neoliberal globalized trade that these people rail against, and I rail against, but for different reasons, gives us an opportunity to diversify the strengths of our economy, invest in other nations, build diplomatic relations with countries who will one day be powerhouses equivalent to us, and in the long run,
like China,
a much better economy. Do you think that like
they're doing with China's doing with Iran?
Like every American consumer had to pay twice as much for a new car, but we brought all the factories back? Do you think like that would be that'd be better? Like
Destiny talk. That's exactly what Destiny said.
Yeah, and guess what, Vaush? No one can actually be able to buy cars. And of course, I was going to bring up the argument about the cell phones. Actually, Vaush will talk about that too.
People in the Rust Belt got their jobs back. Woo! Now, of course, even for those people, wages do not keep up with productivity because that hasn't happened to any other industry, and now everything's going to be more expensive because these workers are being paid more, which means that the corporations are going to have to sell at a higher price, which means that people in America are more likely to buy foreign cars because those foreign companies are outsourcing.
Not
which
true.
Which means that we're going to have to introduce tariffs on foreign products.
Hell yeah!
Basically any product that we, for some economic reason, bring back to this country, we're going to have to implement tariffs on the corollary, the stuff that comes in from other countries, which means that, hey, all that shit you guys like buying that comes from Japan and Germany, fucking sorry, that shit's gonna cost twice as much. Yeah, you liked your iPhones being 1,000, how about them being 2,000? But it's okay, guys.
Yeah, Vaush, first off, that is not true, actually. I've actually looked into this before when people brought up, oh, if you made iPhones in America, it'll cost like up to $2,000. I've done a lot of research on this, and the most I've seen is actually like $100 or $200 more. So it's not even the $2,000. But more importantly, guys, stuff that expensive, guess how you pay for it? In installments. Just like cars too, most people can't afford their cars right off the bat. They're in the tens of thousands of dollars. They're way too much. You pay them in installments. Hell, my iPhone I got from like 6 years ago, that was like $250. I couldn't afford that at $250. We had to pay for installment over a 2-year period. Jesus fucking Christ. That's what happens when it comes to expensive shit. You just finance it. I mean, our installments are all that crap. That argument is irrelevant. And then, of course, the argument of, oh, things will be so much expensive. That's the same argument people made against minimum wage, remember? And we know that's full of shit.
That was the one. That's the argument they used to justify slavery.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. No. Free trade and outsourcing. And, of course, we brought up that it'll help other countries build up to our standards. Helping China build up, was that really a good thing? I don't think so.
They're already ahead of us, so that doesn't matter.
Oh my god. And of course they took all of our jobs. Now they're causing problems everywhere around the world. Is that really a good thing? No.
The funny thing with China is, wouldn't it be funny if China wound up going down the route of America in terms of that, where they have their own 9/11? They just follow Russia and the US.
Unfortunately, they're going the way to a free trade, too, which is really pathetic. So, no. And, of course, Vaush, the reason why America is a shithole right now is for the policy right there that you advocated for, free trade. You fucking idiot. How do you not see this?
Because he's blinded by Destiny's butt.
Yep. Exactly. He is going the route of Destiny, just like he has his obsession with hating Kyle for no reason.
Yep. Hating Kyle, and he's got the additional thing of regularly calling for the Hill to be banned from YouTube because according to him, Sega and Crystal are Nazis. Well, and it's a Nazi, and the Hill is a Nazi show.
Well, Saga definitely is a loathsome piece of shit if you look him up like Tucker Carlson. But Crystal most certainly is not. Oh my god. And of course, do you want to maybe get into the other one? So, no, Vaush. Free trade is not beneficial to America.
Free trade has never worked.
Yeah, I've actually done numerous years of study on this, probably unlike you. And there have been numerous cases throughout the decades and centuries where free trade has just been a massive failure. And guess how America, especially America too, Vaush, you're not going to like this, but guess how America built itself up and actually for the first several decades funded its budget and all that through tariff revenue. For all of you didn't know it, that's how America funded itself for the first several decades before they started doing like income taxes and all that. Bet you all didn't know about that, did you?
Nope, they wouldn't. Nope, doesn't seem like they did.
And of course, that's how America built up its industry, by protecting its industry. That's what protectionism and tariffs are for. And guess what else too, Vaush? You know what the tariffs do? It encourages them to build and sell their shit inside the country because the tariffs are only for imports. It doesn't apply to stuff built in the country, so they can avoid the tariff completely if they build their shit in the countries and employ Americans. That is what protectionism and tariffs are for. How do you and free traders not see this? I've explained it for years and years and years. It's like you're all just stubborn or buying the propaganda.
Their religion.
Yep. Oh my god. God, even Victoria 2 gets this shit right. And that's a fucking game, for God's sake. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. The next video, Vaush, it's like way too long too. I think it was like 19 minutes or something like that. Where was it at?
What's the basic summary of it?
It was about, cause you know, like he's Ryan for Biden, right? That he was basically.
Yes, he's vote blue no matter who.
I don't know if it was this video.
I would only say if you are in a swing state, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, and a couple others, I know are going to be really close, and they're going to need every vote they can get. yes, you can go there and go afterwards. But in most of it, you don't have to.
Yeah, he's, I can't remember the entire video. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. There was one clip in particular that got angry about. I probably should have recorded it, but I guess I forgot to do it. But yeah, his basic argument is that vote Biden no matter what, even if you're like in a deep red state or blue state where it's irrelevant. I don't hear myself echoing.
But like, with me, I'd say you vote for Biden. Probably you're gonna most likely have to try to vote for Biden in a swing state, as I said for reasons before, because swing state.
And then of course, as we all know, I'm in a deep blue state, so Biden's gonna win my state no matter what I do. It's irrelevant who I vote for. Biden's gonna win Maryland in a landslide, for God's sake. And of course, well, one, he doesn't recognize that, which I don't know how. And more importantly, what he thinks is going to happen is the exact reverse of what I think will happen. What he thinks will happen is, hope I'm trying to say this correctly, his goal is get Biden in, he would fail, and then people see, oh, it wasn't just Trump that was a failure, it's liberalism itself is a failure, so then we'll go to the next route of socialism. No, it's going to be just like Obama, because that's what Biden says he's going to be. He's going to be the continuation of Obama. And guess what happened under Obama? He wasn't the FDR that he needed to be. He sucked. The Republicans gained the seats back, and guess what happened at the end? Trump won. That's why I've been saying.
And then remember that Tucker Carlson is maybe planning to run in 2024.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if he does run. This is
instead of just getting an idiot wannabe dictator Nazi, we could actually get an actual Nazi running for the Republican Party.
Like, this is what I keep pointing out to him. This will lead to actual fascism. Why can't you see that? Just like I tried to point out.
Because those people who believe in that ideology are enablers of that group of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the biggest impacts.
Biden will make it more likely for a even worse Trump to show up. And that's why he isn't harm reduction as you keep thinking he is. Jesus Christ. And what was the other argument too?
And remember also that Biden's unlikely to make it 4 years. So you're actually almost as much voting for Kamala.
Yeah. Oh my God. He got me like so mad with that video. I can't remember exactly what I wanted to say. You have anything to say?
Well, really, it's just, if you're in a swing state, you can at least vote to try and keep Trump from getting a second term, because it's starting to, unfortunately on that regard, it's starting to look like Trump might actually cancel elections after 2020 and try to declare himself dictator.
But yeah, of course, that's another thing I wanted to maybe talk about too. I think he brought up the what was it? I can't remember. I think it was about the Electoral College. I think that might have been part of his argument too, but I can't quite remember. Maybe we just move on to something else.
Yeah. What else we got?
I should have recorded that clip. I probably would have had a much better idea of what to say. So.
Doesn't really seem to be that. Oh, AOC shitload feud.
Oh, this was funny. If y'all remember, back in July, I think really I don't have it. I'll get it probably quickly. But anyways, back in July, I think it was, Ted Yolo, or whatever the fuck his stupid goddamn name is, he's so retarded. He's a Republican congressman, I believe he was.
Ted Shitlow. I'm going to look up Ted Shitlow and see if I get his real name.
Anyways, back in July, he went after AOC because AOC made a very mild comment about how poverty leads to crime and all that. And of course, the right can't ever accept that. And of course, you know how much they hate AOC. So they were implying, she was saying that, that excuses like the riots and all that. That makes it okay and stuff like that. But of course, as we all know, that's not at all what she was saying. And Yoho had a meltdown with her and even called her a fucking bitch and all that. It was so funny.
Oh, yes.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ted Yoho are continuing to go back and forth in the public eye.
Ted Yoho,
so I'll show
that's
you the
his
development
name, Yoho.
that's happened. So when we spoke about this recently,
Yahoo.
I believe what had happened was Ted Yoho gave his non-apology on the floor of Congress, and so I covered that, and we discussed how he ended by saying, like, I will not apologize for my passion, I will not apologize for my God, I will not apologize for my family. It was just all like, nobody ever told you to apologize for any of those things, ever. And you're trying to, like, change the topic because you got caught being a dick. Just don't know if you were a dick. Actually apologize and move on, that's it. You didn't do that. You have to, like, make it a grandiose thing. I'm on the right side, so it's like, okay, just fucking relax, pipe down, fuckface. But anyway, so, we covered it, and my commentary was like, wow, Ted Yoho is ridiculous. The thing that pissed me off the most was the thing that he keeps repeating about how, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is, like, telling people to commit crimes if they're poor. He's making it seem like she's giving people the green light to commit crimes.
Yeah, that's what conservatives lied about.
What she was saying was an explanation of where she thinks crime comes from.
That's what they love to lie about. They always lie about it.
Well, that's actually two things I want to talk about. Well, yeah, first off, as Kyle pointed out in his video too, yeah, there's definitely a racial and sexual connotation of why they hate AOC.
Mm-hmm.
If Kyle said...
Ben Shapiro, despite simping attacking her for months,
yep.
She's never gonna fuck you. She's not even interested. She'd be more likely to turn around and punch you in the face.
Because you deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they lied about her. They have a racial and sexual connotation for her, so everything she says or does, they have to instantly have a meltdown for, which is funny because they say the same things about, oh, the libtards always have a meltdown about Trump says everything. Oh, AOC says something extremely mild and more importantly correct. They gotta have a meltdown with what she says.
It explodes.
So guess what? Yeah, guess what, conservatives? AOC was 100% right. Of course poverty leads to crime. How do you not see this? Because you're fucking stupid? And no, her pointing it out does not mean she's saying it's okay. This reminds me of like all the septic community's arguments about like BLM several years ago, remember? When us liberals explained why this has happened. Oh, you just are supporting it, you're condoning it and all that crap. No, fuck you. That's not at all condoning. In order to understand why a problem happened, and also to fix it, you have to find out why it happened in the first place. This is how you always diagnose a problem. You find out what caused it, and then you figure out what to do after that. Jesus Christ, you're
all of course they can never get that through their thick fucking skulls.
Because you know why? Because it would mean that they can't implement their policies, and more importantly, their policies are in cahoots for the reason why they're in the shithole that we're in. And of course, you know they'll never admit that. Jesus.
Nope.
I don't even really need to show the stats because we explained it when we talked about black crime back last year. But yeah, AOC was 100% right and all that. And yeah, a lot of the people just have a meltdown because of AOC because it's her. And yes, there is a lot of people that just hate her because they're racist and sexist. I mean, it should be very obvious.
Trump.
Yep.
The squad thinks Ilhan Omar is a terrorist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he had a meltdown on her recently.
Theory around her.
Oh my god, they're a bunch of fucking morons.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Anything else you want to talk about?
Are we done TikTok?
Ooh, we could talk about banned things in general. Of course, this is update. Remember, since like July, Trump did an executive order about banning TikTok, and it was supposed to be banned on September 20th. Now, I did a video on that. Since then, there was an update recently that Oracle and Walmart were possibly going to buy TikTok, and Trump heard it, and he was excited about it, I guess you could say, about it. So he actually extended the ban till tomorrow. So I have no idea how it's been since I read about that. That was the ban, though, to download it. The actual ban, though, was supposed to be in the middle of November. So who knows if that's still up. So it could be possibly still...
well, that just means that Najee can't make any of more of his cringe talk.
But, so of course, it's still probably not out of the woods yet. But yeah, there's no reason to ban things for entertainment. Don't stop people from doing what they're doing. Take out TikTok, put in something we like. It's like you and me. We like Pokemon. You know how much religious fundamentalists and Muslims fundamentalists don't like Pokemon.
Yes, remember that.
Saudi Arabia banned Pokemon?
Was it Saudi Arabia or Iran that
Saudi
implemented the fatwa?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia issued a fatwa on Pokemon almost 20 years ago and banned the sale of it because it's controlled by the Jews and all that. Yeah, because Japan is full of Jews.
Always had to bring anti-Semitism into it somehow.
Yeah, because Japan is so full of Jews. Did you know that?
Even though I'm pretty sure that Japan would be pretty anti-Semitic themselves.
Oh my god. So yeah, and of course, don't ban things. If people want to enjoy them, let them. And of course, like I keep bringing up the arguments about the TikTok. Oh, China is spying on us. Motherfucker, America is spying on us right now. We're in no different shape in that regard. So if you're against spying, be against the American government too. But of course, you know the people bring up, never bring it up because America's a good guy, remember? And China, no, it's not. They're both equally bad. Get that through your head. And the other one, TikTok steals copyright content. YouTube is considered to do it all the time too. Does that mean YouTube should be banned? No. No one even considers.
I mean, Donkey Kong is the only one who does it. He's the one who does it. We know of.
I mean, God, people accuse me. No, Feld accusing me of stealing their content when I post highlights of Monster Jam over the years. I don't really think that's stealing content.
I think that except Feldbots think they're doing anything in regards to monster trucks and them performing is a safety hazard and needs to be banned.
But yeah, of course. So no, the arguments apply to everything else, but no one talks about banning those things. Just TikTok and other things in general. Here's the thing.
Well, they think that if you own anything Chinese, you're automatically a Chinese spy.
just like conservatives around me want to ban. Oh my God. Do you know how big my Aerogay collection is? If you know what Aerogay is, I'm pretty sure you do.
Yes, I do. You mentioned it a couple of times.
I have over 50 games, for God's sake.
Jeez.
I mean, God, you can even see on my desktop as I screenshot it right now. Look on the left side. All of them. As it's screenshot load up, look at that all.
But all of those on the left is Aerogay.
And Aerogay, for all of you who don't know, are pornographic Japanese visual novels that I import. Conservatives around me and would ban them if given the opportunity. And of course, banning anime too. And I know a lot of you watching are weebs too. Do you think they should be banned? No. Because it's the...
there are some far right-wing fuckwits who do, but...
Yeah, of course, but they're not... We hate them too, of course. Oh my God.
And some far right-wing fuckwits and some pop feminist nut jobs too.
Yeah. Banning GTA, remember? Just like, what was it? Target
God,
just like Target down in your part of the neck of the woods?
Yep.
It promotes violence. It's sexist because you can beat prostitutes after you fuck them. Oh my God, the same bullshit I've heard all the way back in GTA 3. Remember when they Bully got delayed for a year? Remember Bully got...
You probably heard them in GTA 1.
Yeah. So, no, guys, when it comes to media and entertainment, just let people enjoy what they want. Don't try and ban it, because if you ban one thing, it's going to lead to slippery slope to eventually something you like gets banned. I keep pointing this out to people.
And unfortunately, and it's not even a slippery slope because in this particular case, because we actually seen it happen.
Yeah. So, always follow the model I've had since I was 8. I believe people should be able to do whatever they want as long as they don't harm others. Follow that philosophy. Shouldn't be that hard. Oh! Even though Harry wanted to talk about since he was supposed to show up, but of course he didn't. Do you still want to talk about COVID to wrap it up?
Yes.
Of course.
Because we're about to hit 1 million deaths.
Yeah, sadly.
Worldwide.
Yeah, sadly. Of course, America already hit over 200,000 deaths. Oh, how about you tell us how bad it is down under compared to good old America?
Whoa! We've had 27,000 cases and 869 deaths. We were at... How many were we again? We were at about 7,500 cases at the end of June. And then some private security guards decided they'd get a bit humpy-dumpy with... with some people in quarantine, and suddenly we have and now we've almost quadrupled our case count.
I guess conservatives down there will be like, see, this is why we must ban premarital sex now.
No. That's no, that's why they're slamming Dan Andrews because he was the one who is the premier and not the health person who has now been sacked, now resigned. That's
what happened.
27,000 cases, and we've had 870 deaths now.
And of course,
and it's like,
as you were saying,
yeah, and so at least we got it somewhat on top now of it, so that's good.
Because see what happens when you have even somewhat effective leadership, unlike our orangutan fascists?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, did your government say it was just a Chinese hoax and they denied it and downplayed it at all costs?
Nope.
Did they do...
Well, that was also because that might also have something to do with the fact that Scott Morrison got smashed over the head because of his pathetic response to the bushfires, where he decided to go off to talk to some QAnon conspiracy theorists in Hawaii instead of actually showing leadership.
God, get rid of him already, for God's sake.
Well, we're going to try in a year or two. But Albanese is better, but not a huge amount.
And also, didn't you guys do UBI of some sort?
Yes, we did. For those who lost time in their jobs, a job seeker was actually bumped up significantly, though it's about to come down by about half of the increase, if it hasn't already.
And did the government pay wages like a whole bunch of countries like Germany did?
Yep, that's what they did.
See, guys, unlike good old America, who's supposed to be number one everything, hey, we're number one COVID deaths, I guess.
Well, here's the thing. You're suppressing, well, to be honest, you are suppressing your numbers significantly. You should be at about 20 million cases, at least about 10 million cases by now. And you do have India charging in.
But see, guys, when you actually do the right policies, not only would there not be any deaths, but the economy wouldn't be in a free fall, unlike good old USA.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, that would.
Australia's in recession, but then again, the whole planet's in recession. I think maybe even China might have taken a big hit too.
But of course, in order to point out how bad it is, you have to admit that Trump was bad. But conservatives will never, ever, 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 ever say that. Because conservatives will never admit when they're wrong on anything. Because they're fucking dipshits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, if we even did half the shit everywhere else, then we'd be in a much better shape. Oh, just like Kyle pointed out, if they did a mask mandate from the very start, we could have saved tens of thousands of lives. But of course, conservatives, so much for being pro-life, am I right?
They did a mask mandate in Victoria when the second wave started, so that's at least something. Actually, Dan Andrews actually did implement a mask mandate.
But of course, then you have
idiots. He was called Dictator Dan and Terrorist Dan for even doing anything about COVID when the second wave rolled around.
Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say now. It was gonna be a joke.
Sorry.
Well, anything else you wanted to say since we've gone through all the topics?
No, I think we've gone through them all. Also, I've got something on in a few minutes, so I gotta watch that too.
Well, I guess I'll wrap up this episode. Hope you all enjoy, and of course, Harry, are you busy fucking women in the background or something like that? How dare you not show up when we set up a show once again for you to come on? I had to stay up till 2 a.m. for you. For crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
You better have a good explanation in the morning for this. And I swear, if it is because he was busy fucking, that is not going to be an excuse I'm going to be happy about.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilariously ironic.
Yeah. All right. So that'll wrap up this episode. See you guys next time. Hopefully, maybe if we're lucky, maybe we can get a show done before or after the election so we can maybe make fun of either the Biden bros that think that are surprised that Trump won, or maybe make fun of the Trumpsters that are stunned and will start rioting once the orangutan loses as they say they will.
Yep.
So see you all next time.
Shiny Sammy Studios out.